Our final inductee this evening is Elaine LaLanne, better known as LaLa. And I have to tell you that my history really starts with the LaLanne's, because my first TV appearance ever here in the US was on the Jack LaLanne show. I had a vague idea that I wanted to do a fitness show. I figured I'll go to the LaLanne's in LA, and they hosted me on their show. And at the end of that show, Jack said, "You're going to have your own someday." And I said, "Thank you, sir." And 2 years later, I had my own TV show. Over the years, I got to know, we all, as fitness personalities, I think we all kind of have the image of a poster that we don't really know what's behind that. And over the years, I got to know the LaLanne's pretty much on a one-to-one basis, both Elaine and Jack. And to say that they've been an inspiration for me would be an understatement. I'd like to tell a small little story about Jack and Elaine. And Jack was the man in front. I think Elaine, he was the sort of like the guy ahead, but Elaine really was the motor and the engine that kept that engine running. And I'll give you a small little anecdote that happened on my show. When Jack turned 80, we invited Elaine and Jack to come to Hawaii to do a few episodes on my show. And I figured, okay, Jack is 80 years old. My show is very choreographed. I'm going to use him, in the opening. We'll say a couple of interesting things, and we'll give him the floor work. I'm not going to do the aerobics with him because he's not going to be able to do it. So after the first show, I go into the truck, because I'm also part of the production team, and I hear on the voice, I put the thing, I'm hearing, and I hear Jack saying to Elaine, "I don't like this guy. He's not using me the way he's supposed to. He's not letting me have any time on the show. I want to get out of here." And Elaine says to him, "No, Jack, he knows what he's doing. He's using you in the right way. You're fine." So I come out of the heads, and I was really concerned. I walk over. They're sitting under an umbrella on the beach in Hawaii. And I come up to Jack and I say, "Is everything okay?" And he goes, "Oh, yes, of course. We're ready to shoot the next show. Let's go for it." So that's my experience with them. Of course, over the years, Elaine has her own legacy in the fitness and health industry. And I will read to you now a little clip here. So Elaine produced several exercise videos and DVDs. She's best-selling author and toured the country promoting her popular walking program, Dynastride, an exercise program for all ages. Elaine has invigorated the Jack LaLanne Power and Fusion Juicer infomercials and has made appearances on countless television programs. She's a highly sought-after motivational speaker. At 91, still doing push-ups. How many push-ups did you do today?
I don't know. I'll tell you later.
She still hasn't slowed down and can still do full-body push-ups. She looks young, acts young, inspires her audiences to be young and at any age with infectious excitement. She paints a picture of you that anybody can be. So my honor to invite Elaine LaLanne up here. LaLa.
We gotta take the picture. Okay. Are you smiling? Well, Gilad, let me tell you one thing. He really, we had to change clothes in the car, in this van, or in this. Oh, and we remember, we're in like this, changing clothes into our clothes. And Jack said, "Oh my God!" And you know what, Gilad? You know what? Jack always said the reason that I'm behind him. He says, "You know why my wife and I get along? She's always right." Well, I don't know where to begin because I go back a long way. I go back in 1948. I started in television in San Francisco, and then I met Jack in 1951 when he started the show. In those days, we used to transmit from the transmitters up on Sutro Forest. which is up in the peaks of San Francisco. And I got a call one day when I got this call and said, we got a guy who can do push-ups for your whole hour-and-a-half show. We had a 12-piece orchestra left over from radio because there was no radio anymore for the music. Anyway, so I got this guy. His name was Jack LaLanne. He came over and did push-ups through our whole hour-and-a-half show. And that was in 1950. Pretty soon, we're down. We go down to downtown. We get a studio now, and Jack is starting on television in 1951. And he used to came in. We were in the newsroom, and I'd have a cigarette, walking in with a cigarette and a chocolate donut. And I used to swim in the Minneapolis Aqua Follies, and I was really in good shape then. But now this is 1951, and the sands of time are shifting, and so he said, you should be eating apples and bananas and oranges. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't tell you this. And I said, oh yeah, but he started a little exercise class on noontime, and so I joined it, and I said, well, this guy's really got something here, and I really kind of liked it because I was kind of a tomboy as a kid, and I swimmer in the Minneapolis Aqua Follies, and I thought, I kind of like this stuff. So I started exercising. I started broiling everything I used to fry. I changed my life around, and well, we danced at a company party, and we danced ever since. I mean, that's about it. But but a lot of people don't know, and I learned from Jack. I learned through osmosis from Jack. When he graduated, when he was in high school, he read Gray's Anatomy backwards, forwards, and sideways. And then he started in 1936 his studio, the Jack LaLanne Physical Culture Studio in 1936. He became a chiropractor. That's why he knew everything so about the body, and he invented the first leg extension machine, the very first pulley machines. In those days, he took what he did is he took the what they called the sweat boxes, and when they did the clean and jerk and all this stuff, he took it and put glass block showers in the studio. He had saunas, he had carpets on the floor, he loved plants, he put plants up. So he really was the father of a modern physical culture studios, or the spas today. And and then there's a guy in Paul Martin in Oakland, California. Jack would draw out a little design of the leg extension machine, or the whatever he had in mind, which is the squat machine, which is now called the Smith machine. And he designed all those, brought him over to a blacksmith in Oakland, Paul Martin. And Paul Martin, there was a guy by the name of Jack Palmer who was a pattern maker. So he would make the patterns, and all these people he would give them free memberships. It was barter in those days. So they would make the patterns, he'd take it to Paul Martin, and then eventually, as people left, Paul became a manufacturer of equipment, and that's how the leg extension was born, and the weight selector. The weights in those days had a hole in the middle, and I said, well, they do. And so Jack had this idea to use a pulley machine to pull up the weights, 5-10 pounds, and then you had a little thing like this, and it would click, and then you would pull up the amount of weight that you wanted with the pulleys. So I have all that in our house in Morro Bay, California. I have all the original stuff that he invented, and Rudy Smith, the Smith machine by Rudy Smith, he always gave credit to Jack for the Smith machine. He says, that's mine. He says, but I know you invented it, Jack. but anyway, that's kind of a little background of I left the television to go on to radio, and then I went on to work with Jack, and then I worked with him. And so the reason I'm here today is through osmosis, and I learned from him, and I used to go and say, I'd like to get everything out of that brain of yours. So thank you very much, and I appreciate John and the Figueroa family and Gilad and everybody.
Your family, John's here.
And I'd like to introduce to you now my son, Jack, and my son, John Allen LaLanne. So stand up, John. Well, anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on because I lived for 91 years, so I've got so much that happened in my lifetime. But God bless you all, and keep up the good work and keep going. And I'm going to keep going until I drop. Okay. And if you want me to do a push-up, I'll do a push-up.
Yeah.
But only one because I tore my rotator cuff.
Okay. Well, she's going to show us one. I don't believe it. 91 years old, still able. Okay. We believe you. Very good.
My shoes came off. I slipped. Thank you for holding my feet. My feet were slipping.
I'll even carry these out with you. Thank you, guys. What?